Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Fox, and I don't know what I'm doing. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Happy 2022. That sounds weird to say, 2022. I have been MIA for a few months, and I'm going to get into that. But one of my New Year's goals this year is to really be consistent and stick with this podcast. And here we are, mid-February. I'm going after it. But I recently did a YouTube video over on my YouTube channel. And in it, I just kind of talked all about a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about here today in this podcast. But I talked about how I kind of take a long time to get with the new year and get with my goals. I feel like especially the first week of January, I'm just not there yet. I feel like I see everyone like posting their goals on social media and I get inspired. Like I really thoroughly enjoy what I'm seeing, but it takes me a minute to get there and actually understand what it is that I want for my personal goals, spiritual goals, work goals, everything. So if you want more context on that, head over to my YouTube channel. It's just like my newest video in the new year. It's just a chatty get ready with me while I do my makeup and stuff. Side note, I just got my nails done and I feel like a full-grown adult. I normally get just a regular basic manicure and my nails usually get really, really long, but I think with it being so cold and dry outside, my nails just keep cracking. They'll grow and they'll get to a certain point and I can see the crack forming in my nails. So I just got so tired of it and I went and I got a full set of acrylics and I feel like a fancy ass bitch. I feel expensive and all I want to do is like immediately after I got them done, I just started tapping on the desk and the girl that does my nails was like, yes, everybody does that as soon as they get their nails done. But it's just so new to me because I normally just have a regular manicure. And I got a little heart on them for Valentine's Day, which I feel real festive. If you want to see what they look like, head over to my Instagram or you can watch this video on YouTube. So some exciting things. I got a new filming camera for filming these podcasts. So I I definitely stopped recording these podcasts. I think the last one was in November. I think I only even had like 4 episodes or something. But one of the obstacles with recording these and filming them for YouTube was most cameras have like a 30-minute time limit. They really need to change that. But I guess I understand. I guess the camera can overheat and stuff like that. So they limit the recording. But at the same time, anytime I've filmed for 30 minutes and then had to restart the recording, the camera's been fine and it's never overheated before. So I was kind of holding out for this big fancy ass camera that I could use for all of these different things. But that camera's been back ordered for a really long time and it was also really, really expensive. So I decided to replace my small little vlogging camera with the Sony, the ZV-1 or something like that. That's what I'm filming on now for YouTube if you want to go and watch this instead of just listen to it. But it doesn't have a recording limit. So hopefully I won't have to get up, stop my train of thought in the middle of doing these podcasts and press play again. One mistake I've made in the past, and I'm making it currently as we speak, is I end up waiting to record these until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I live on a busy street and the traffic builds up and there's people like right outside my house with their cars like playing their music and walking by. So hopefully it's not too loud, but it is what it is. I wasn't going to put this off any longer. This is a huge goal of mine, and I'm just really excited for the new year. I'm excited to get back into these podcasts. The other day, was kind of having a rough day. I don't even know why. I think it was just like emotional or whatever, and I just felt very unproductive. But then I had all of these different ideas for podcast episodes, and I wrote down 30 different, totally different from each other, episode ideas for the podcast. So I'm feeling really, really inspired. And then for like 4 of them, I did like in-depth, like I went in depth with each topic for like 4 of them. And part of the issue I had before was it's really difficult to just like sit and talk by yourself. If someone was here, I could talk for hours. So coming up with, just topics and ideas that I could just sit here and ramble on about by myself was a little bit tricky. But I have faith. I'm excited. One thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make a phone number so that you guys can actually text me and you guys can be a part of the podcast. You guys can leave me voicemails or text messages, and I can kind of just include you guys into the podcast, and it can be our thing together. So I started working on that today. I just have to get approved into the program so that I can get this phone number so that you guys can reach out to me, and this can be very communal. So I really wanted to talk about just the things that I've been focusing on all of the new year so far. Currently, when I'm filming this, it is Wednesday, February 9th. So like I said, it takes me a minute to like really just get in with my goals. Pretty much all of January, I really focused on my morning routine because I just got distracted. There's a car outside. I got distracted. Anyways, I'm someone who just really relies on their morning routine. It sets the tone for my day. It makes me feel just really ready to tackle the day. So I feel like through the holiday season, I can tend to lollygag a little bit more, relax a little bit more. My routine is really off. Throughout the holidays, I go to bed later, wake up later, where normally I really do prefer to wake up at like 5:30, 6 a.m., but I'm currently waking up around 7. But it's because like throughout the holiday season, I kind of just really get off track. And so I've just been slowly trying to work myself back into a early morning routine so that I can set the tone for my day. One of the things I got was a red light, and that's supposed to really help with your mood, your skin. There's like a million different things. I talked about that in that YouTube video, but it actually really helped, and I swear it like cured my knee pain that I was having. From my understanding, it changes the mitochondria in the cell. I don't understand what that even means, but whatever. Take with that what you will. I think most people understand what that means, but science was not my best subject, which is so ironic because I'm so into sciencey things right now. Maybe I'll go back and like research some stuff to actually understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But I got a red light, and in the morning I do my devotions and my journaling and everything in front of this red light, and I just really enjoy it, and it's just kind of like my alone me time. So I've been doing that. One of the biggest things for me was getting closer with God this year. I got 2 devotionals for Christmas, so I've been doing those morning and night, and I've really been enjoying that. And then I got the 5-minute journal recently, and that I'm surprised at how much something like that can really change just your outlook. Basically all it is you write down what you're grateful for, some of the highlights of the day, what would make the day a great day, and then it gives you a motivational quote. And I don't even think it takes 5 minutes to do. Yeah, I got that, and that's been really, really helpful because there have been some days in the past month where I'm just kind of like, just in a really bad funk or just not really feeling it, and at least writing down what I'm grateful for will kind of help to snap me out of it and stop being a little baby. Because yes, it's good to feel things, and yes, it's good to like understand when things are negative, but if you're just being negative, having a journal that forces you to be grateful can help you snap out of that and then put you in a better mood. In the beginning of this journal, by the way, it was super instructional and informational, and kind of talks about like why gratitude is so beneficial. And one of the things, which I didn't even know this, but it was like a study that they did, I think like a Harvard study or something, where if you actually practice being grateful, you will be happier. It's just proven. So if you were someone who's just in a really negative mindset all the time, just in a really down negative state, and you just practice being grateful, no matter what, you'll just automatically start feeling better. It's just proven. So I just like that. I like that there's science behind it, and it it makes sense. And I've just been a lot happier and just feeling more positive. And I feel like having this set morning routine just really helps start my day and keep me in a good mood. The other thing is my fitness and workout routine and eating healthy and just like my overall wellness in general. That's a really big goal for me this year. It's a big goal for me every year, but I just kind of like to refocus and come together at the beginning of the year and just kind of reassess everything and see, how did I feel last year? What were things that worked well for me? What were things that didn't work well for me? I ordered a workout routine plan from the Mind Pump media people. I said that really weird, Mind Pump media people. But I listened to the Mind Pump podcast. It's one of my favorites. And those guys have a bunch of different fitness plans. So I ordered one from them that I've been following. I'm only in the second week of it. And I've really been enjoying that. So I have just found that, especially from working at home, I've worked outside of my house for I think since 2015. And one thing I've realized is that I have to get out of my house every single day. I have to, even if it's just for a walk. If I say that word again, by the way, I'm going to call it a W because my dog is around and she knows that word and I don't want to get her excited. So going forward, if you ever hear me say a W, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, going outside for a W, even just 5 minutes, getting my ass out of the house is crucial, and it really helps my mental health. It helps my outlook. I feel way more positive and refreshed. In the winter, we don't get a lot of sun, so I have also been supplementing with vitamin D, which also really, really helps me. But yeah, being active and just moving my body makes such a difference in how I'm feeling. And I feel like in the winter specifically, it's 1000% all about how I feel and not so much about how I look. In the summer, I care more about my just the way I look because I just want to feel confident and feel good in the clothes that I'm wearing and stuff like that. But in the winter, mainly, I rely on a workout routine because it really does. I have a nose itch. Oh my gosh. It really does make such a difference in just my brain. What was I gonna say? Oh, what I'm eating. So I kind of talked about this in my last YouTube video as well, but after my wedding in July, I decided that I wanted to start incorporating more carbs into my diet. If you were new or you didn't know, I've been doing keto since 2017. I have a lot of gut issues, and so that not only helped me lose weight because that's what I was trying to do at first, but then I realized that it really made me feel amazing, and so I've stuck with it. Just the way that I feel, it's the main way that I really enjoy eating. But I've been working with a nutritionist, and I've worked with this nutritionist on and off since 2019. I feel great, and my digestion's great, and all that. I could really go into this. I'm actually going to film that next, probably, all on my health journey, and I get so many questions on that, so that's why I want to do a specific episode on that. But anyways, after my wedding, I talked with her and I said, I really kind of want to start incorporating carbs. I want to see what it's all about. And to be honest, I kept getting pressure from just outside people who don't know me, and I shouldn't have even gave it much thought or just gave it much attention. But I decided, you know what, I'm curious. Let's see what happens. I have developed such a great relationship with food over the years. I used to have a horrible relationship with food, and now I feel like free from it. And I really do look at it as a way to nourish my body. But also, I have no problem indulging in like ice cream and cake and stuff like that as well, where if you asked me that a couple years ago, I would have been so rigid and strict with being healthy that I wouldn't have indulged. So I've come to such a really great, healthy place. And so since July, I started incorporating carbs, and it's just, I really, really wanted to give it a shot because from my experience, like when people would ask me about keto and they would try it and then they say, oh, it didn't work for me, or I didn't like it, or whatever. Of course, if something doesn't work for you, you shouldn't do it. But also most people would only try it for a week or two. And I think I think you really have to give something a real shot. And I don't think that just a week is really a real shot. So I gave this, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, for 7 months. I did this for 7 months and I have felt like absolute garbage. I've tried it. I really did incorporate things very slowly too, just to see like how I felt. And at first I would feel awful and then my body would kind of like acclimate, and then I would incorporate something else and I'd feel bad from it, and then my body would kind of acclimate. And then it got to the point where like 2 weeks ago, I did my measurements and I was like, holy shit, I've literally gained 6 inches in my waist alone. But I didn't even realize that because I wasn't even focused on the way that I looked. I just knew I felt horrible. My mood has been really, really low, and my energy has been so low, and just there's a bunch of other things. Again, I'll get into it when I go over it in my health journey episode, but I just decided that keto is just the way for me. And so I feel just so good right now and so refreshed. It's been about a week now, maybe a week and a half, that I started being really a lot more strict with keto again and not eating the foods that made me feel uncomfortable and inflamed, and I just feel so much better. And so all of that, long story to say, I am just going to listen to my body this year, and it kind of just goes along with all of my health and wellness goals this year, is to just really focus and listen to my body. And if something feels off, just to listen to it. Don't try to force something upon myself. So that's a really big goal. And I just feel so much better now that I've been doing that. So I feel like people do this and it's not like a new thing or like a dramatic goal. But for me, I'm not kidding, it has changed my life. So I felt very overwhelmed with I just felt like I always had so many dishes to do or so much laundry to do. I took about 2 weeks to just really overhaul my house and clean it all up and get it all nice and clean and organized and everything, minus one room in my house. One room in my house is an absolute disaster. But now that I've got it under control, I have a new rule in my brain. It's what I do, and it's 1 load of dishes and 1 load of laundry every single day. I'm not kidding. This has really changed my life. I feel like those were the 2 things that would just kind of go overboard and be a lot, because the rest of my home, if it gets a little messy, I can quickly just spend 5 minutes straightening it up and putting things away. But something else has helped me with that as well, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, just making sure at the end of the night, I just do a big load of dishes. And at the beginning of the morning, the laundry's done and I can just fold it. It really has made such a difference, because now I don't have a sink full of dishes where they're going onto the counter and laundry just falling out of the laundry room all the time. It just helps to maintain everything and keep it under control. And it's been so nice. The other thing is, if it takes less than 5 minutes to do it, I do it. And the first time I started doing that, and I heard that somewhere, I don't know where I heard it, and I can't give the person credit from where I heard it because I don't remember, but I would have a really bad habit of let me just set this here, I'll do that later or whatever. And then a couple days later, it would still be sitting in that spot along with a bunch of other things that I never put away. So then it gets really messy. The other thing too is if there's something that I'm dreading to do and I just don't want to do it, whether it's an email or just taking the dog out or getting gas or whatever, all of those things take no time at all. And if it takes 5 minutes or less, if you just do it, holy shit, you will feel so much better. You'll feel so much more accomplished. I feel like the home will just be straightened more. At least that's how it's been for me. Someone else commented on my video and said, put it away, don't put it down. That's I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with this, and I feel like that's just so smart, and it sounds so dumb when I'm like saying this out loud. It sounds like I'm a 5-year-old and I don't know how to clean up after myself. But sometimes you just get comfortable and you just get stuck in your ways, and I just feel like these little simple things have just really made such a difference for me this year so far, and I feel on top of it, and they really worked. We're already, it's crazy to say it's February 9th. I can't believe we're like basically mid-February right now. But so it's been a month and a half of me doing these things, and I've stuck with them, and they feel good, and clearly they're working. So if you haven't tried that, the whole like 5 minutes or less thing, I highly recommend it, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like you'll feel just as good as I do. And if you try it, please let me know, because I don't know, I just feel like it really made a difference. So I've gotten into reading. Last year I listened to quite a few audiobooks, maybe like 4 total, but this year I wanted to really get more into reading. So I love self-help books. One of my favorites was Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I really loved that book. I'm having a brain fart right now and I can't think of any more, but anything that helps me to just be a better person, be the best me that I can be, so that I can put that onto other people, so that whenever Ruben and I decide to have kids, I can be a good mom, I can raise good children, and just put out light into this dark, dark world. And so I also love these. That is a really loud vehicle. What was I saying? Damn it. Reading self-help books. Yes, I love self-help books that just help me to not even look at or care about all of the nonsense going on in the world. Honestly, a lot of stuff that we see every day that are serious things, they're going to happen anyways, and if I don't put my attention on it, I am in such a better mood. I deleted Twitter a couple years ago. I probably still have an account. I just deleted the app and I haven't been on there, because I swear every single time I would go on there, it was just so dark and people were complaining, and it would put me in such a bad mood. So I stopped going on there. I don't go on Facebook because it's kind of the same thing, just not as bad as Twitter, I feel. But I don't watch any like news stuff. It's so depressing. And so I would rather focus my energy on something that is going to bring me positivity and stuff that's actually going to help me. You know, we can see all of this horrible stuff going on in the world, but what are we going to do about it? Honestly, like, what are we going to do? We're going to bitch about it online? No, let's actually like try to be better people. So that's kind of like what I've been trying to do. And I want to make the biggest step this year than I have in past years. I feel like little by little, I try to, do little things to be a better person, but I want to put more effort into that. So my goal is to read at least 2 books a month, and one of them being some sort of self-help book or something like that. So last month I read, what did I read? Indestructible, which I need to do it again. I listened to it. I didn't read that one. I just listened to the audiobook. But that one I really enjoyed. It was just kind of about how to not be distracted and different things that you can implement to help you to be more focused and less distracted, mainly with technology and our phones and stuff. So ironically enough, I found myself getting distracted while listening to this audiobook, so I need to listen to it again. But I liked how he went into how technology and social media is not the enemy. It's not Instagram's fault that I'm getting distracted with Instagram. I mean, there are things put into place to make it addicting. If you haven't seen the Social Dilemma, the Social Dilemma on Netflix, highly recommend it. They interview people that like worked for Facebook and Instagram and these social media companies, and how certain things are very purposeful and intended to keep you on the app and all this stuff. So yes, while these apps are designed for that, it's still my job as an adult to put a boundary in place. And it's kind of just like a delayed, thinking more about delayed gratification and Kind of like, for instance, we're adults. We can decide if we want to eat donuts every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are we going to do that? No, because we're going to feel like shit. So it's the same thing with social media. Giving myself a certain allotted time to be on social media, to mindlessly scroll, not necessarily for work, because anytime I go on there for work, I mean, it really only takes like 5 minutes when I'm doing something for work, unless it's replying to comments and DMs and stuff like that and emails. But like mindless scrolling and just being on there to just bullshit, putting some sort of barrier and boundary in place for that and being very intentional with my time on social media for mindless scrolling and stuff, I think that's important, and that's kind of like what he was talking about in the book. So I really enjoyed that book. I also listened to The Four Agreements. Who is that by? I should write these down. The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements is by Don Miguel Ruiz, and in it he talks about how if you make these 4 different agreements with yourself, try to actively work on those 4 things, overall just be a better and happier person. So that's another one that was actually really quick to listen to. So I'd like to listen to that one again. This month I'm going to start You Are a Badass. That's another like really short one. And then I also wanted to start reading before bed, and I thought that a fiction book before bed, fiction, not false? False. Yes. I always have to think that in my head. Why do they make it so confusing? Why don't they just say like true and false? Yeah, I started reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I want to start doing that, which I already did start doing, but reading a little bit before bed just to kind of wind me down and get off from watching TV. Like, stop watching TV so much. I watch so much TV, and a lot of it I enjoy. I mean, I don't think that like TV is bad and whatever. I thoroughly enjoy movies and shows and stuff, and I don't think I'll ever not watch that stuff, but I have no business like watching it and falling asleep to it. It's always like Friends or The Office or something, but yeah, I'd rather have like a better routine at night and just do something that's gonna like be better for my brain, you know what I mean? And then another really simple thing and change that I've been implementing in my life in the new year is not snoozing my alarm in the morning. If you give yourself that option, or at least for me in the past, if I give myself that option of snoozing my alarm, I just end up sleeping through it, or just I'll keep sleeping, press snooze, and continue on. Nothing about that motivates me to get out of bed. So if I don't give myself the option, if I make a mental agreement with myself that no, at 6 a.m. when that alarm goes off, that's when you get up, then I just have found that has helped me a lot, because then I can actually get up when I want to. And if I end up 9 times out of 10, if I snooze my alarm, I'm going to fall back into a deeper sleep than I was when I was waking up. So I've just found that makes a really big difference with me as well, especially in the morning. I feel like I've really gotten my morning routine down, and I really need to focus more on my nighttime routine. But I did get the Hatch alarm clock, which I really have been loving. It wakes you up with light, and I have it set so that it can also play like birds chirping and stuff. You can also set like a full nighttime routine too, where you have the same thing, like either a moodier light or, I don't know, raindrops or whatever. But that's been really nice and way better than waking up to my phone alarm clock every day. The other thing too is, I think it's Mel Robbins, she was talking about this, and I think she even has a freaking book on it. It's the 5-second rule, and it's a proven thing where if you count down from 5, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you force yourself up and you do the thing that you don't want to do. And that's something that I keep forgetting is like a scientific proven thing that works. And I need to remember it so it can help, especially in the morning when you're laying there and you don't want to get up. You've made that agreement with yourself that I'm not going to snooze this alarm clock. You turn it off, and then you tell yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you spring up out of bed. Basically, scientific. I'm going to say this in like very easy terms because I haven't thought about this in a long time from the first time that I heard her talk about it. But basically, it's like scientifically proven to kind of stop you from thinking. when there's something that you don't want to do, you're thinking about all the reasons why you don't want to do it. And, like, oh, I don't want to get up today. I don't want to do this. Oh, I'm running through the list of to-dos. I don't want to do this. Today sucks. I could just sleep. When you count down from 5 and you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it stops your brain from thinking about why you don't want to get up or what you don't want to do, and gets you focused on those numbers. And then you get up, and it's proven to help you get into action. And then we all know the quote, an object in motion stays in motion. So these are just little nuggets that I have thought about throughout this new year. I feel like at any point you can always reevaluate your life and make goals at any point, but there's something refreshing about the new year. I personally love doing this in August. I get really, really inspired by the fall season. So, but yeah, the new year as well, I enjoy it as well. It just takes me a little bit of time, more time than usual. I feel like it takes me longer than others to get inspired and ready for the new year. All in all, I just really want to focus on doing all the things that make me happy, prioritizing my health, wellness, fitness, and my relationship with God and my relationships with the people in my life, and putting all of that stuff first. And then secondary, I really want to work on my career, and I feel like I have been doing the same thing for years and years and years, and I see so many people doing so many cool things, and while I shouldn't be comparing myself to them in a negative way, I do compare in a little bit, and I'm now getting inspired. I was kind of feeling down for a little while that, like, I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't really succeeding in life, or I wasn't doing all these cool things that these people are doing. And a lot of times I get in my head and I come up with reasons why I shouldn't do things, or why I can't do things, or why things are hard and I don't know what to do. And I need to really get out of that mindset and remember that all of these people that are doing really cool things that I don't know how to do, they didn't know how to do them either. And they figured out a way. So if they can figure out a way, so can I. And I'm just ready to work on cool things and expand and do the things that I want to do, like including this podcast. I had so much fun doing it the few times that I recorded and uploaded, and now I've got all of these ideas for this year. I have 30 different ideas. That's 30 weeks of ideas. So yes, I'm excited. I'm also not going to put like crazy pressure on myself with all these different things, because I do have so many different goals in all of these different areas of my life. But I think it's good to have goals in all of these different areas, but at the same time, I can't be like so strict and rigid with myself to where if I mess up, I'm not going to be hard on myself. I can still be disciplined in all of these different areas, but I'm not going to like get down on myself if I make a mistake or if I mess up or whatever. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm here trying to figure it out along with you. And I hope that this was somewhat fun to listen to. If you watched my Get Ready With Me on YouTube, I feel like this was very, very similar. But I did want to just do like a fresh New Year's goals video, so that this was on the podcast as well for those of you guys that don't watch my YouTube channel. And I personally, I love listening to stuff like this. I went back and I listened to a bunch of different podcasts that have New Year's episodes, and it's just so refreshing to hear people talk about the stuff that they're into, what their goals are. And like, honestly, like the reading the book thing that I want to do, I saw someone else talk about that. And I was like, you know what? I want to do that as well. So, you can just get inspired from stuff like that. Or maybe you take away that like, these are things that you're not into. Whatever. Please let me know what your goals are over on my YouTube channel under this video. I would love to know what they are. Let me know what you're excited for the new year. And hopefully in one of the upcoming episodes, I will have a phone number so that you can text me and tell me those things. And I'd love to do some sort of like reaction videos and reacting to some of your stories that you guys have. I think that would be so much fun. I've listened to some episodes of other podcasts where they do that, and it's just so fun. I love learning about other people and learning about other people's experiences. So I believe that is it for me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk all this nonsense. I will be back very soon. Hopefully I will have a new episode up, one a week. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. If you have any recommendations on what you want to hear from me, please let me know. And yeah, I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.